Happy Wednesday, Clemson Sports Talk. Lawton Swan with you. So good catching up with my buddy Marc Paisant. Again, his podcast, Relatively Normal. I've had a chance to be on there a couple of times to talk about the athletic side of things, sort of tell my story. And I think many of you will enjoy the work that he does. But, one of the things we didn't really get into with DJ, or at least with the thought process behind DJ, is with the NIL. And I brought this up in the past. I mean, Mark sort of mentioned it to a degree, the pressures that these guys deal with. But imagine, and if you've been a part of the show for a lengthy period of time, you've probably heard me say this before, but if we just spitball that DJ got $100,000 for his Dr. Pepper commercials. Who knows? May have been less. May have been 20. And let's say that he got $50,000 for his Bojangles work. Right? That's $150,000. Now, that number might be absurdly high. It might be absurdly low. I don't know. By the way, Dr. Pepper and or Bojangles, if you want to come sponsor the show that shakes the Southland for $150,000 a year, I'm here for you. Hit me up. Here's my email, Lawton@ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Hit me up. There you go. But if you assume that that's what he got for 1 year, I don't think these are going to be like continuing contracts. And again, I don't know if it was more or less, but let's just round it off to 150. If you got $150,000 for those two ads, and you want to keep it, you have to perform. I mean, because if you don't, you're minus probably $150,000. And if you really play bad, the way DJ did this past year, then maybe there's no sponsorship money the following season. And I'm not saying that DJ's never going to make it to the NFL. I'm not saying he's never going to be a pro. But at this point, would you draft him? I mean, look, you'd be drafting off of what he did in high. You'd be drafting off of what he did in high school and the expectations of what he could be. We saw the same thing with Spencer Rattler, right? Your big name didn't deliver. Now Rattler's coming to South Carolina to play with the Gamecocks. Got beat out. And if Cade Klubnik had been at Clemson a year ago, Cade Klubnik probably beats out DJ, and DJ's probably in the portal right now. I mean, if these guys are a year closer in age, Cade certainly gets an opportunity to supplant him a year ago as a true freshman, much like Trevor Lawrence did when he got Kelly Bryant's job. So as a young man, you're dealing with the pressures of, again, all the family things he was dealing with his parents, which aren't, quote unquote, well documented, but we have mentioned it. Then you've got the issues of maybe that money not coming back into your pocket the following year because you're not performing up to the standards very early on in the season. And then everything else that comes along with the pressures there. And so the mental aspect of the game for DJ, and I've called him a little bit too laissez-faire, a little bit too laid back. Like, I want a guy that's a little more in the groove when it comes down to how he's feeling and not just sitting there slurping down what do you call it? Like a protein shake or something after a ball game, just looking way too chill for the moment. Like, I want a guy with a little edge. I want a little guy like that. You know what I want? You know what I like DJ to be? A little more like Tim Tebow. Remember when Tim Tebow went to the microphone and took responsibility? I mean, this will never happen again. And then just like he hulked up. He's like David Banner. Dun, 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 dun. That's what I want to see. I want to see DJ hulk up a little bit. I want to see DJ fired up and angry and frustrated. Not just so laid back. That's what I'd like to see. 803-450-0086. And I don't know if you can be too laid back. But I do wonder if some of the issues that DJ had dealt with the feeling of the loss of what he might not have next season. Because I don't think these were like multi-year contracts. And he came out stinking it up pretty quickly, and it never recovered. 803-450-0086, 803-450-0086. But that's a heavy burden to first off, it's a heavy burden having that job. It's quite another thing to have to be the guy all season. And when we saw DJ as a freshman, he kind of you knew that Trevor was going to be back. Trevor was going to return. And so maybe that allowed him to be a little more comfortable, be a little more loose at Notre Dame in order to play as well as he did. Who knows? I honestly can't say. But I don't think that DJ's inefficiencies or issues are caused by not being a good player. I think those things are caused by the fact that there's a lot of this that is just trapped between his ears. The 6 inches between his ears, I think, is the key to his success in 2022, 2023, and beyond. Whether it's at Clemson, whether it's at Southern Cal, whether it's in the NFL. But I would like to see him get a little more edge after games, win, lose, or draw.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
That's it. That's what I want to see. 803-450-0086. Again, that is the text line. That is the phone line. Thank you